This is a general tarot reading for anyone who receives it. So there's the Emperor, Six of Swords reversed, Three of Cups, Plant, Five of Pentacles, Judgment card, Nine of Swords reversed, Four of Cups, Two of Pentacles, and then I don't know what to call this card, but it's a number 24, and there are 4 individuals in the card standing behind one another. It's reversed, and they're overlooking each other's shoulders, and then the one at the end is looking in a mirror, reflecting back on everyone, and then the one that starts it at the top is wearing a large hat and uniform embellishments. Actually. And then at the bottom right here, it's like the smallest skeleton is holding the earth in one hand, a mirror in the other, and the mirror is reflecting back on itself. And not only reflecting back on itself, but all of those behind it. And then this is in reverse. So that's right next to the Six of Swords in reverse. The Emperor card, which is in this deck represented by Aries. And I don't know if that's a bee or a wasp. It kind of looks like a wasp. And the man has a floral staff that is aligning with the ether, with the fire in the air, creating like a earthly water bubble, standing on top of an eagle and balancing all of these energies. So then the Three of Cups is next to the plants, which goes back to the Emperor card holding a staff with a flower. And then the Five of Pentacles is next to the Judgment card, the Nine of Swords reversed. And then the Four of Cups is next to the Two of Pentacles. So what I'm getting from this reading is that there was a situation or something solid in the past that had substance to it, something that not only did it have substance, but it was like a snowball type of situation. Like it's not just one thing, it's like a whole. It's not the ingredients, it's the cake, it's the pie. It's not just the flour, it's the dough. When you mix it all together with everything that it needs to be dough. So it's something that there is something that has already happened that you may have moved past, but it's getting brought up again. And the main message from this tarot card reading is to stay in balance and understand that it's not getting brought up again because it's going to be repeated again. It's getting brought up again because there is something about this that needs review by not only you, because it's something that you have reviewed pretty thoroughly, which is I think why the Nine of Swords is reversed here next to the Judgment card. Something that was not pleasant for you, that you have grown through and moved past. But even though you have moved past it, learned from this situation, grown from this situation, started thinking positively rather than worrying about it, it's still getting brought back up again. So with the Three of Cups and the Plant card, I feel like it's like the vibe when you have a perennial and you planted something, and the first year you planted it, it kind of didn't do so well. Maybe the plant was eaten by insects or had mold, but then you forgot about it, and then it came back the next year, and it doesn't have any of those issues, but you're remembering the issues that plant had from the previous year. And it might cause like this worry about whether or not it's going to happen again, because maybe you put a new plant next to that one, forgetting about it, and then you're worried if it's going to get like contaminated or whatever. But that might not be the best metaphor. So maybe, like, to continue with that metaphor, I guess, maybe it's where you forgot about the plant because it was sick last year, but then it came back as a perennial, and this year it's not necessarily sick, but part of that plant and the history of that plant being in your garden is going to chemically alter or benefit the other plants that you have planted in the garden that are new. So to go back and review this situation it's not saying to go back and review this situation because it's something that needs to change. It's something that is a foundation for change in order to move to the next phase and get something positive out of this negative situation. So it's like something, say you left something behind because it didn't make you feel good, it brought you down, and it put you in a negative place. So now it's getting brought back up again, but instead of rehashing all of that old energy and bringing you back down to that negativity, it's building a foundation for what to jump off of in situations that are not going to be as serious as that one was. And it's not that this situation is necessarily going to help you be better at the new situation, but it's like having an extra step ahead of the entire thing. So there's something that is going to replay itself, and the best thing to do in this circumstance is to keep a ground solid footing. Don't reflect too much on this past situation, but understand that it is a past situation, and don't forget about it, and use it as a stepping stool into something new, like a branch into the next pathway. So there may be some issues being brought up about this situation from other people, maybe even synchronicities that are forcing you to reflect on it, but it's not forcing you to reflect on it because it's something that you haven't learned yet. It's just a preparation for, hey, don't forget, you went through that for a reason, okay? Remember, you did go through it, it did happen, and there's a reason that you went through it. So hold on to that in the most balanced way, sort of how you can't leave the soil when you're rooted into it, but the plants around your soil can help your plant absorb the proper nutrients, if that makes any sense. So it's like, maybe say you're this guy right here, this plant right here, and these two plants weren't here before, but before right here there were like something that was destroying this plant, and then these get put back here, and then they're not quite harmonious, but because they're here and they are interacting with this area, this environment, they're bringing up similar feelings of the non-harmony, but yet there is a different sort of disharmony. It's not that these are bad for each other, it's just that they're different, if that, yeah. So I guess, okay, so the most important part of this reading is to remember to keep balance while continuously being forced to look at a past situation that was not balanced, that knocked you off your feet and then forced you to create a brand new balance. So hold your balance while this situation presents itself behind a window.